da-da-dee. Da-da-da-dee, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Morning.
What do you want?
Oh, I was just passing, so I thought I'd drop in just to be sociable, like.
Oh, aye.
Our Nigel used to be very musical, you know. Our Fred's lad on my mother's side.
Oh.
Everybody said he'd have been at Convent Garden, only when he lost his voice, he never found it again.
Look, Hilda Ogden, if you've come here to communicate with the Almighty, there are plenty of spare benches here. But if you come to tell me that Elsie Tanner's back from Paris, you can save your breath because I know already.
Oh. Oh, Mrs. Sharples, I wonder what made you think of that.
I wonder.
Who told you?
Oh, a little bird that was wakened up at 2 o'clock this morning by the noise of that big posh foreign car he's bought.
Foreign car?
That's right.
What foreign car would that be, then?
That one that's parked round the corner from the Rovers. Hilda Ogden, if you want to be the first with the news round here, you want to get up very early in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Well, I won't keep you from your work any longer, then.
Oh, I had a funny feeling you wouldn't.
Here you having?
Oh, thanks, love. I needed that. Got a mouth like a fireman's Wellington.
French food.
Motorway sandwiches.
Hi.
Good morning.
I never heard you come in last night.
Well, you wouldn't. After all, it was the early hours of the morning, wasn't it?
Tea.
No, thank you, Sandra.
So, how was Paris, France?
Well, when you pop over there as often as I do, it begins to pall a bit, you know.
Good as that, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, heck, I better be running, else I'll be late for work. You tell me all about it tonight,
Sure.
over tea?
Yeah. Oh, Sandra, hang on a minute. We nearly brought you back a stick of toffee rock, but we thought that would suit you better.
Thanks.
Oh, aren't you going to open it?
No.
You are?
Wait till I get into the salon. Turn them all green with envy.
Yes, well, you be careful you don't open it in the men's department, else they'll all turn a different colour.
Oh, I see, like that, is
Yeah.
it? Did you pick it or did Alan?
You mind your own business.
Thanks, Elsie.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Only me.
Forget me head if it was loose, wouldn't I?
Elsie, what about Sandra?
What about her?
Well, doesn't she feel that she's under our feet now that I'm staying here?
Well, I don't know, I just...
Hello there! Can I come in?
Looks as though you're in, doesn't it?
Yes, well, it's all part of our rough northern charm, isn't it? Bobbing in and out of our little terraced houses without so much as a by your leave, eating tripe and onions off saucepan lids. They'd not like that in the south, you know.
No.
I take it that great glittering excuse for breaking the speed limit outside is yours?
Yes, it is.
Yes, well, it's the rich what gets the pleasure, isn't it? I mean, there's you with a car like that outside, and here's me still owing Dave Smith money for a car I haven't even got anymore. Still, it ever was the curse of the working class. Unpaid debts.
Langton, did you come in here for a cup of tea or did you not?
Oh, no, thanks, Elsie. I just want a few quick words with your nearest and dearest.
Oh, yes, what about?
Oh, something out, really, to men of substance like us.
Yeah.
Well? Just a question of this invoice of ours, you know? The one that keeps getting lost in the machinery.
Yes. Look, Ray, I've got a couple of long-distance phone calls to make.
Yes, well, life must go on, mustn't it?
Well, I'll see you later on in the Rover's return.
If you like.
12:30 suit you?
Right, 12:30 it is.
Mrs. Walker and Lucilla away again, then?
Yes.
Is Madam Turpin coming to help you out?
I'm afraid Mrs. Turpin can't make it either today.
Of course, that's always been your trouble, hasn't it?
What is?
Well, people's always taken advantage of your good nature. Always been my trouble and all as that.
I suppose I can't persuade you to stop on for an extra hour just to get everything straight before opening time.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chuck. Just can't be done. Wouldn't be fair on Stan, wouldn't that?
Oh.
No, you see, he's on his holidays this week. And he likes me to be readily available when he's on his holidays. Besides, he's taking me for a day out later on. To Bellevue.
I mean, you'd think the GPO would be able to do something for girls like us as a sort of service.
What do you mean, girls like us?
Well, girls like us as need a couple of quick fellas for the evening.
GPO?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can get everything else on the telephone these days, you know. The time, the weather, What to do for your husband's tea?
Aye, even a number sometimes if it's not out of order.
So why not fellas?
Hey, yeah, interfella.
Or even rent-a-fella?
Hey, you know that good cat, John? Why don't you write up to the newspapers? Couldn't you, Maggie, end up on the telly talking about that?
Yeah, the news of the world.
Oh, hey up, who needs the GPO to get you the fella? Oh! And you're a fella all over, aren't you, love?
Mind your own business.
It is my business, isn't it? I mean, if you're taking me out for a drink later on, I've got to know how I'm fixed.
That's funny. I don't remember making any assignations with the gorgeous red-headed mint.
There you are, trying to get out of it, aren't you?
Still, seeing as it's you, we'll 7:30 suit you.
Oh, you fast cat. Did you hear that? He's not been in the shop 2 minutes and he's trying to get me to go out with him.
Box of matches, please.
No, have these on me.
Hello, hello. Bribery and corruption in one fell swoop.
I know it's going on all over, you know.
I say, you wouldn't happen to have a friend, would you, with a deep weakness for blondes?
Well, now, let me see. I have been known to speak for Albert Tatlock in these matters. But he's already spoken for. He's taking Illa Ogden square dancing tonight. Mind you, I might be able to do something for you. What sort of ale do you drink?
Halves a bitter, kid, all the time.
Well, no problem. There's fellas all over Manchester looking for the likes of you. Well, talk of the devil.
You what?
If it isn't Albert Tatlock, the king of the military two-step. Now, listen, Albert, I've only got 2 things to say to you. Break clean in the clinches, and when Shiali Mandy's left, watch it, because that's a shooting foot.
Hey, has he been out it, son?
What do you want, Mr. Tacklock?
2 ounces of aniseed balls.
You what?
And none of your blooming lip.
I went round to the flat, but there were nobody there.
Well, there wouldn't be, would there?
I've got something to tell you.
Well, if you've come to tell me that Elsie Tanner's back, you can take that daft look off your face because I knew at 2 o'clock this morning.
They come back in a brand new car.
Well, and here's me thinking they caught a Zeppelin.
A foreign car, Ina.
You wouldn't by any chance be thinking of that white Mercedes with the electric windows that plays everything but God Save the Queen standing outside the Rovers, would you?
Oh, you know.
That's right.
Oh, if there's one thing gets my paddy up, it's somebody who always knows everything.
Well, if you think I'm going to pretend to be a numbskull to keep in with you, Minnie Cole, well, you've got another think coming.
Oh, I say, Ina, somebody's been putting marks on your floor.
Get away.
Oh, it looks like somebody's got in through your window.
By gum, if Sherlock Holmes had have had you, Dr. Watson, he'd never have bothered.
I think you've had a burglar.
I don't.
Don't you?
No, because for one thing, there's nothing missing. And for another, burglars don't leave toffees lying about.
Oh, thank you, Ina.
Hi, did you have a smashing time,
Fine,
Ben?
thanks.
Oh, Joe, did you have good weather then?
Well, you know what they say, it never rains on your honeymoon.
All that garlicky food didn't disagree with you then?
No, Chuck, never garlicky food, only garlicky people.
What was Paris like in the summer then?
Dusty, but lovely.
Tell you what, how about coming round the back for a cup of tea and you can tell us all about it, eh?
Smashing idea. I can tell you something.
I'll put the kettle on, Maggie.
Oh, was there something else, Mrs. Ogden?
Oh, no, thank you. I was just off. I mean, after all, we're not all ladies of leisure, are we?
Oh, dear.
Right, that's $50 you owe me.
My arrows, I believe. Well, you did chuck first.
Oh,
Right, now let's see, it's the bull I want.
hey, have you got a flipping magnet in that bullet?
Alright, let's see, Stanley, that's $50 for that game, $5 bob for the 2 previous games, $50 for last night, $10 bob. Take it or leave it, it's the best I can do
Not
for
coming
you.
on till Friday.
Well, I would, Stanley, you see, but I do have this wife and 2 starving kids to think about, you know.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, standing with my finger in the dike as usual. Still, I'm sure you've been having a good time. Well, what I mean is I'm sure it's all been very exciting. Well, that is, one could hardly find time hanging heavily on one's hands on honeymoon. In Paris. Scotch and soda.
Yes, please. It's like a drink, Ken?
Let me get you one.
No, I'm in the chair. Make it 2, Miss Nugent.
No, half of bitter for me, please, Miss Nugent. Oh, how was Paris, then?
Oh, it's fine. It's full of Americans and Englishmen and Germans. I think all the Frenchmen are over here.
Stan, here. What time we off then?
What do you mean?
To Bellevue.
Ah, well, it's a bit dodgy, love, you see.
Oh, don't tell me you've gone and spent that quid a lent you already.
No, we're on the bad luck, you know, hit the wire every time.
Does that mean you're skint again then?
Yeah. You couldn't...
No, I couldn't. And I'll tell you something else and all while we're on about it. You better do something to get yourself unskint, because if you think I'm subsidiarising you for the rest of these holidays, that's another mistake you've made.
Hello, Ray, do you want a drink?
Nothing for me, thanks.
Well, let's sit down, shall we?
No.
What's it all about?
350 quid, to you?
You say this hasn't been paid?
Well, not unless my bank manager's been keeping something from me.
All right, Ray, I'll have a word with my secretary about it first thing this afternoon.
I had a word with your secretary about it last week. She knows nothing about it.
All right, Ray. Does it have to be settled here and now?
Well, I suppose that depends on which side of that invoice you're standing, doesn't it?
Well, leave it with me.
I'd rather not if it's all the same to you.
Oh?
Well, you know how it is with these things, Mr. Howard. You give a bloke a bill in a pub and he sticks it in his back pocket, he has a couple of drinks, forgets all about it, and we're right back where we started, aren't we?
3 pints a bitter, please, love.
Other 2 halves, please, love.
2 halves.
3 pints, please.
Please, I only have 1 pair of hands, you
tell
know.
him. Go on. Can I do anything to help, Miss Newton?
No, thanks, Ken. It isn't really lunchtime. It's the problem. It is how I'm going to cope this evening if Mrs. Walker doesn't get back.
How you fixed for a quid till Friday?
Oh, I'm sorry, Stanley, but left my wallet at home on the grand piano.
Oh.
Mind you, I could make a suggestion.
What?
Well, I do happen to know that Miss Newton is looking for somebody to help her behind the bar tonight.
You mean work?
Yeah.
I'm on my holidays.
Well, let's just say that it would have fringe benefits for somebody in your position.
Thanks.
Morning, Mr. Hogg.
Elsie, what can I get you?
Well, now, since...
All right, I'll get it.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll have a gin and tonic.
Very well, Mr. Ogden. Can you start now?
Yeah, well look, can I leave it till tonight, like, sort of work myself up to it, you know?
Oh, very well, Mr. Ogden. I'll see you at opening time.
I'll be there, love.
Miss Nugent, could I have a gin and tonic, please?
What was all that about?
Oh, it's nothing. It's all settled out. You ready for a drink now, Ray?
I'll just take a check, if that's all right, and get off.
A check.
Well, that's right. I mean, everybody's using them nowadays, aren't they?
I'd ask you to have a pen. Thank you.
Alan,
Yeah.
what was all that about this morning
What was all what about?
with Ray Langton?
He just wanted a bill paid.
Bill?
Well, you know what these small firms are like. If you don't pay them up at once, they think you're trying to swindle them. You know, you're the most remarkable woman.
Of course.
No, but you're the first one I ever met with a decent taste in ties.
Oh, yes. Well, where are we going tonight?
Well, I thought I might take you to somewhere special that I've just discovered.
Yes?
It's, they serve the best French food in the whole of Manchester.
You are a nutter.
I bet you say that to all the fellas.
Not anymore. Thanks very much. Oh. Going out somewhere, are you?
Oh, yeah, just over to the Rovers.
Oh, well, probably see you there later, eh?
Yes, see you.
Ta-ra,
Ta-ra.
Alan,
Yes.
is there something wrong?
No, I wouldn't put it as strongly as that. Nothing wrong.
Oh?
Well, it's just Sandra. She has a genius for walking in at the right moment, doesn't she?
Oh, well, you can hardly blame her. It's not Buckingham Palace and there is only one way through, isn't there?
Well, I suppose that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
What?
Well, is she going to be with us much longer?
Well, I don't know. She didn't say anything about going.
No.
You don't like her, do you?
Yes, I like her all right. I think she's a nice kid, but... Well, it's not as if she's your daughter and has nowhere else to go, is it, Elsie?
No.
And 3 is more than a crowd. She's just been married. You think I'm being unreasonable?
No.
You do think I'm being unreasonable?
No, it's just that... Well, we'll be moving into Cheshire in 2 or 3 weeks, won't we? Well, won't we?
Yes, I suppose so. Forget it. I suppose I'm just being selfish.
Oh?
Well, I just want to have you to myself. all the time.
I take it you are familiar with bar prices.
Can a duck swim?
Ask a silly question.
Well, if you are in any difficulty, there's a price list on the wall over there.
Oh, right. Thanks, love.
By the heck, Emily Nugent, I hope you know what you're letting yourself in for.
I'm afraid it's a case of needs must when the devil drives, Mrs. Sharples. Or hadn't you noticed that nobody got killed in the rush when I asked for volunteers at lunchtime? Please, Mr. Ogden.
Well,
I trust you've paid for that pint you've just disposed of.
no, only the slops and one of the tap, you know, waste not, want not, eh?
Slops aren't generally considered waste, Mr. Ogden. They're returned to the barrel later.
Oh, you live and learn, don't you?
Sam.
Oh, hello, what are you having?
Oh, thanks very much, love. In that case, I'll have a gin and orange.
Yeah.
Against that brick wall. That's better. Now then. You do have a name, I suppose?
Tony.
Tony what?
Parsons.
Right, Tony Parsons. Don't you have any front doors in your house? Listen, I want to hear what you've got to say for yourself, or do we have to continue this discussion down at the police station?
Look, missus, I didn't do any harm.
Do any harm? Forcing the windows open?
I didn't force it!
Then what are you trying to do in there, then?
I only wanted to play it.
Play it?
The harmonium!
Are you trying to tell me that you're breaking into these premises to play the harmonium?
Yeah.
Right, well, we can test the truth of that statement for a start. You come on with me. Come on.
Right, well, what are you going to have, Stan?
No, I'll get these.
Well, in that case, I'll have a rum and pep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, new houses is all right, I suppose, for them what wants them. Oh, but there's bound to be snags, isn't there?
How do you mean, snags?
Well, I mean, there's a lack of communal life, for one thing, in them big housing estates, isn't there? Yeah. And you'll not find folk over there like what they are round here, you know.
Yes, Chuck, but what sort of snags?
Hey, hello, Albert.
Right, thank you very much. Hey, hope you've got a long-term contract on this job.
Oh, well, I'm thinking about it, you know.
Do you know, I haven't had such a good time since Eddie Charlton tapped a barrel at Street on VJ night.
Do you know, Albert?
What?
I think I've found my vocation.
Good lad.
Mr. Ogden?
Yes, sir.
Could I have a private word, do you think?
Certainly. Back in a minute, sir. Yes, sir.
When I asked you to help in the bar this evening, the idea, as I saw it, was for you to help me for an agreed fee of £1, not for you to help yourself to the contents of the cellar.
What, you mean those couple of drinks I had?
No, I mean the 5 or 6 pints of bitter you've consumed since you started work.
Well, don't worry yourself.
But I am worried, Mr. Ogden.
Don't, love. I mean, beer to me is like oil on the cogs, you know. The more lubrication I get, the sharper I get. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, in a minute.
Of course, it's none of my business, like. But if you did want to cut your losses, I'd get rid of him. While there's still ale left in the cellar.
Right. So you've been coming in here to play the organ, have you?
Yeah.
Right, let's get yourself sat down there. Now then, whenever you're ready.
Come with me, he says. I'll bring a fella for your friend, he says.
Well, he's a fella, isn't he?
He's married.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, Bet. Married men are the worst, aren't
Yes, but what if your wife comes in here now and breaks a bottle over me head?
they? Oh, I won't worry about that.
No, I know you wouldn't, but what about me?
No, I told Val all about it before I came out.
What?
Yeah, I told her I was helping a mate out. I had a couple of problems on his hands.
Yes, well, in view of the changed circumstances, campers, we've decided to abandon our 10-mile hike for this
Oh, and
evening.
what changed circumstances are those then?
The presence in our midst of an old married man.
Oh, what a shame. You can't get about like you used to, can you, love?
Take no notice of them, Ken. As a matter of fact, I find older men rather fascinating.
Well, thank you, and good night.
Crates?
That's right.
What, we're beering?
Yes, they're in the cellar. If you could just start bringing them up. It shouldn't take you more than half an hour. There can't be more than 10 of them.
Oh,
Is something wrong, Mr. Ogden?
oh. Me glass back, you know.
Oh, dear. Is there anything I can do?
No, love, the only thing I can do is sit down, you know.
And will it be long, do you think?
Well, sometimes it takes days, you know.
Yes. Well, you just go and sit down in the bar, Mr. Ogden. I'm sure I can manage.
All right, love. What about me wages?
Oh, yes, I think the agreed rate for the evening was £1.
Yeah.
Less 10 shillings because you didn't survive for the prescribed time. Less a further 16 shillings, give or take a couple, for 5 pints of bitter, 1 gin and orange and 1 rum and pep. Now then, Sandra, can you start immediately?
Right. £6 bob to you, Mr. Ogden.
Where did you learn to play the organ like that?
At my grandma's. I used to play there.
You used to?
Yeah. We used to live quite near, but we moved away.
And your grandma taught you to play, did she?
Yeah.
Well, who teaches you now?
Nobody. My mum don't believe in it.
I see. And that and somebody'd better have a word with your mum, hadn't they?